Wagwan, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. It is Tuesday, April the 8th. We are live at the New York Stock Market afternoon session. Glad you can join us. We are the Simple 123 Traders, and there's nothing really simple about what we do, just the concept. All right, so how's everybody doing today, and who's with me today locally here?
Good morning.
I'm hearing some good mornings.
Good day, gentlemen.
Yep, there's Marquis. Mr. Bain is with us. Who else is with us? George is with us.
New Marquis.
I'm well. How are you, George?
Very good, thank you. And yourself?
I'm well. Sitting on this gold trade since yesterday. I've been looking for it to go downhill.
On gold?
Yeah, I was trading on the higher time frames mostly, but I'm clocking a 1, 2, 3 on the 4 hour. But I don't know if I'm quite looking at it the right way. I know we're in the fourth wave, but I think there might be a little confusion on where the starting point is, because on the 1 hour, where I have it started, it goes sideways a bit. So
are you in the trade right now or no?
Yes.
So you did catch the move, which is good.
Well,
Yeah.
I've been in since yesterday. So yesterday I got in it, and then once it was going, I caught another 1, 2, 3 to the downside, but I took a partial yesterday, and then as soon as I took that partial, it started going in the other direction. So I've just been sitting in there waiting on it.
I've been trading it as well because I wanted to prove out my analysis from yesterday. I'm trading it live, and I've made out like a bandit. I'm still in it, going down at this moment in time as well. But yeah, it's I didn't look at it from the 4 hour standpoint, because I was looking at it more from a lower standpoint. But we can certainly look at it. My cursor is really slow right now because I have the streaming going on. So I'm trying to see if that will go away here momentarily, and I can get my mouse working normally again.
You're playing it on the 4 hour.
So
Yeah.
I have I had that larger 1, 2, 3, and then I was looking at then towards the bottom and that fourth wave, I thought I saw another 1, 2, 3. So that's the one off the fourth wave. That's the one I'm looking to take profit, as opposed to that larger 1, 2, 3 from the top.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you're okay. You're looking at it from this standpoint here, from this 1, 2, 3 up here.
So initially, that was what got me interested in it. So I was like, all right, I counted that as a 1, 2, 3. But then if you go down to the wave 4, go to the top of that one
right here.
Yeah, so I considered that a 1, 2, 3. So I said 1, 2, and then that long candle down was wave 3, and then that would be wave 4.
And so there's another 1, 2, 3 here. And that's what we're in now, going down to potentially take out this low, like I was explaining to Omar yesterday. So from the 4 hour, it's a tough one. But if I drop down to a lower time frame, then we'll see it a lot clearer. So let me just first of all get rid of all this stuff. Let me drop down to the 1 hour here. Okay, so from the 1 hour standpoint, I'm going to just get rid of the fib. Clean that up a bit. Okay, so on the 1 hour, this was the first, that's the first 1, 2, 3 you saw on the 4 hour. I'm sorry, my mouse is very slow here. It's the streaming to YouTube is really hogging all my resources at this moment, and it's not going away. Usually it goes away pretty quickly, but it's not. I'm not sure if I can close it. If Vic is there, maybe he can tell me if I can close the window, or do I just let it go by itself? I'm afraid to close the window because I think I might cut the session off, but I'm not sure if that would happen. Okay, so I've got a 1, 2 here, and then we get this drop. And now what you looked at as your second 1, 2 is in here. They chop it all up. I'm sorry, my mouse is so slow. And they give us another 1, 2, and then again they drop it. So because of the first 1, 2 here down, we're looking for them to take out this low when we move back up. So we want to see them take out this low. So they did that. So now yesterday they moved back up again. And so again, we create another 1, 2, 3 in here, but you can't really see it that clearly here yet. And now I'm looking for them to take out this low now over this side. So again, I'm sorry, my mouse is really raggedy.
Yeah, well, we can see what you're doing.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I'm looking for them to take out the low coming. So you have it right, but from the 4 hour, it's very difficult to to really see it clearly. So you hopefully you come down the time frames to initiate your entry and so forth.
Yeah, so I basically got all of those. And then the last one you were saying, so what I did was I said, because the 261 drops down below that lowest low. So what I said was, all right, I'm just gonna put it for the low, but the 161 is like a little ways higher than the low. So yeah. That's where I'm kind of grappling whether I should just go for the 161 or whether I should go for the low.
Yeah, and I mean you can always move your stop, keep moving your stop down to strategic points to protect your position. But they're certainly gunning to take out this low. That would be the target and below. So I'm going to drop down to a lower time frame now, 30-minute. So now on the 30, we can really see it a lot clearer what they were doing. So remember yesterday when I was showing Omar, I was telling him that he has to be careful because this is a fourth wave and they can chop it all up and so on. But I'm expecting them to come back and take out this low. However, we don't know what they're going to do in the fourth wave. We don't know if they're going to do it like they did it here. They went up quite a ways here and did it that way. We don't know if they're going to do it like this. They can do it that way and drop it. They can go straight across. So here, for instance, you see how it's straight across. Here, it's straight across. See, they don't go back up very much on these fourth waves. However, on this one, they did cycle up quite a ways. What I pinpointed last night when I was looking at this was there is an inverted gap here. And so they came back right into that inverted gap. It worked out perfectly. So on the way up, I thought, okay, there's an inverted gap or there's a regular gap here. Maybe this would be where they would stop on the way up and then turn to the downside here. But once they went through that, I thought, oh boy, okay, so they're heading up higher. So I had to find something up here. What are they going up here for? And there was an inverted gap, and yeah, that's it. So that's where they went. But quite interesting because when you look at the structure here, we had a 1, 2, and then this big move. So at this point, when they get to here to this first gap, I thought maybe they were done because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. So I thought we were done at that point, and then we'd get a nice 1, 2 and come down, but they kept going. So very interesting, but yeah, you can see that they're heading straight down to take out this low now. Right? There isn't anything for them to really stop at this point. There are no gaps down on the way down, so that looks like the likely target. If we put the fibs on, like you're saying on this leg, I would need to come down to maybe the 15. And now I can see the 1, 2, 3 a lot clearer. So now I would put my fib on at that level. So there's my 1, 2, 3 here, and retrace back up. So that would be where my fib is. So 1.618 is pretty quick. That's done. 2.618 is still a ways down. And we're looking at even below 300% here. So we know what they're doing right now. That's the key takeaway. So since we have a 1, 2, 3 top, and we're dropping, so we're going to come into maybe 2.618 area, do a little zigzag, and then another final drop to the downside. Again, my mouse is still, the thing's still running. Vic, are you there, or did you leave? Is he there? Don't know if he's there or not. I don't know if I should close this window. It's usually closed by now.
Can you minimize the window?
I did minimize it, but it didn't make any difference. So
okay.
I'm wondering if I can close it. If I close it, I don't know if it's going to affect the streaming. So that's why I'm trying to ask Vic. But
wait, that's going on his computer,
it's
right?
on. Yeah, it's remote, so it should be okay for me to close it. It's still going to be going on.
Long
Yeah.
as your closing of it doesn't terminate his streaming.
No, I hope not. That's what I'm hoping that it does not. So, all right. So I am. Okay, so now my mouse is back. Hopefully it didn't affect the streaming, but we'll see. It's really annoying. So now my mouse is back. Usually it closes pretty quickly after I started, so I'm surprised it was still going. I guess I could check to see if it's still going. So let me just do that real quickly.
Yeah.
Just to be sure, because I might have to restart it if I messed up there. So bear with me 1 second. Let me just check. I think it's coming up here. Whoops. No, it's still going. Okay, so that's good. All right. So again, my mouse has gone into slow motion mode. Bear with me a second here. Sorry, guys. Wow, that's hogs the resources. Okay, so I'm back again. All right. So let me. So Marquis, yeah. So I think that's kind of what they're going to do here. They're going to go to a fourth wave area again. I mean, this looks like a logical area. We've just taken out a low, so they could do a little bit of bounce here and then continue on into the fifth and final wave down. All right.
Now, is that the GLC or /GC? This is a future, or is it the stock?
This is XAU USD.
Oh,
XAU.
yeah, okay, so yeah, so it's a cash deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, let me take a look at the news for today. We usually look at the news right away. So today,
Almost forget the news for today from
no news today.
point of view.
No red news today, that is, for US. All right, so is there anything tomorrow, April 9th? Yeah, we have FOMC meetings tomorrow at 2.
Yeah, the good old Wednesday 2 o'clock job.
Mm-hmm. All right, and we got the bonds.
This is going to be kind of interesting because I don't know if you want me to say anything on this, but are you interested in some analysis of that?
It's up to you, George. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think is going to be?
Powell is and Trump don't really get along. Trump would like Powell to reduce the interest rate tomorrow to get the bond yields to come down, which helps increase housing demand, etc., because obviously yields affect mortgages. But Powell not liking Trump, he wants to keep it high so that you keep interest rates higher. So it's going to be sort of an interesting play to see what he finally says on the matter tomorrow.
Well, that's interesting to me that you say that because they don't like each other, it could be two different things or whatever. I mean, that seems so illogical. Shouldn't it be all about the best interests of the economy and the American people?
That's what it should be, but we're talking about political situations, and part of the reason is that Trump has said to Powell that he's no longer interested in him as the head of the Federal Reserve.
I see.
And, as a matter of fact, ultimately, Trump would like to do away with the Federal Reserve because it has done nothing but increase inflation over the years.
Interesting.
He would like to be back on the gold standard.
All right. And yeah, I like the idea of being back on the gold standard personally, but that's neither here nor there for me. But US dollar currently is flat. Euro US dollar against it flat. So it looks like we're going to have a continuation to the upside for the US dollar and a continuation to the downside for the Euro US dollar. You can see how the chart is gravitating. They're gravitating back towards each other right now to that point. So quite neat how they move away from each other and then come together, but they never touch. They never cross. Quite interesting. All right, so that's gold, like I say. So we're probably going to be gyrating in here. So let's take a look at our Bitcoin. Let's see Bitcoin here. Bitcoin is really down. So go to the hourly on Bitcoin. It's similar to gold. You can see the same type of pattern. Have a big 1, 2, 3 up here, drop. They go all the way back up. So yesterday that we had this spike right here, this big spike, but they did not go up and take out the high up here. We made a 1, 2, 3 here. We're on our way down to take out the lows. So I'm saying now that we're heading to 72,000 on Bitcoin. Looks like that's where we're going to go. So we did make it up above 80,000 yesterday. So they kind of provoked buyers to jump in, and now they're taking them all out. So all the buyers, unless you've sold up here, they're in jeopardy now. So we're on our way down. You can see the big 1, 2, 3. So that's gonna come down to here, gyrate, and then a continuation to the downside. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Tesla.
Before we get off of Bitcoin, MSTR has reported that they have lost, I think it's 5.9 million in this reporting period because of the change in price of Bitcoin, etc. So their shares are slated to be softening.
It definitely is softening from the high over here. Or they were much higher than that. They're up at 500 and 550 almost. And now we're down at 250. So it looks like they're going to be taking out these lows as well. So they could be down in the 220 area before we might see a turnaround. But that's the same as Bitcoin itself. So quite the drop here on MicroStrategy.
George, what I heard about MSTR was that its valuation compared to the amount of Bitcoin that it holds isn't comparable to the amount of Bitcoin that it holds. Do you think there's any validity to that?
I don't think he heard you, Marquis.
George?
Well, one thing you have to remember about MSTR is that it's not exactly in a 1-to-1 ratio to Bitcoin. It's not a 2-for-1, but it's somewhere in between, I think. So when it starts going up, when Bitcoin will go up, it should be able to move a bit faster. But I forget whether it was November or something like that, October, November, they purchased a lot more Bitcoin. And it did affect their balance sheet. And some of that might still be going along because I think a lot of their buying was at a point when Bitcoin was pretty high. That's all I know.
Okay. Thank you for your insight, George.
All right. So here's the NAS. I'm on the hourly on the NAS. We have large 1, 2, 3 top up here, big drop. They move up 1, 2, kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, right back up into this gap, and now we're rejecting. So looking for NASDAQ to come also down to take out these lows. Remember yesterday we were looking for them to come down and take out these lows, but they decided no, they wanted to go up first. Similar to gold, they wanted to go up first.
We'd like to get a handle on when is the real opportunity for it to turn down on.
It's turned, so it's making its way down now.
Oh
nice
yeah.
1, 2, 3 top there.
Doing what we thought yesterday, but it's been taking its time.
Well, like I said yesterday, since they did not come down and take out these lows right away that we were looking, I was kind of expecting them to turn and come back down. They wanted to go higher, so they induced the buyers to go long. And like I said, that's what they're going to do into London session, and we're going to be coming down. But they still took a long time to turn everything around. So it's a lot of playing around to get as many buyers in as possible. And they did it. They they got people thinking, okay, this is it. We're heading back up, but the whole ruse is to bring it back down.
Or you see in that Asian and London session, they were simply consolidating that entire period.
That's right. This whole time it was just consolidation. So during Asia, they're chopping it up, and then they're going to take out the highs and induce the buyers because they want to go short. So that's the whole ruse. They turn it around with a big, huge 1, 2, 3. This is on the 15 here, and now we're on our way down. So all these guys are in jeopardy now if they haven't sold, of course. So this train has definitely left the station, as it were, and is on its way down. That's the same thing as the S&P and the same thing as the Dow. The Dow is a little more funky. Big gap there and everything like that. 1, 2, 3 top still, but looking to come down and take out all these lows as well. So can we get a ride on this train at this point would be the key question. It's tough. It's going to be tough now. So what we need here is we've got our 1, 2, 3. So we need to come to a low, maybe this one perhaps, and we could get a little bit of a bounce and a continuation, or they could keep going all the way down to the bottom before they do that bounce. So we don't really know where yet. So we'll just keep watching this. So any retraces from the time we get this 1, 2, 3 at this point, any retraces are sells, right? So any retraces there, sell, retrace, sell, retrace, sell, and so on, retrace, sell. So we could do the same thing, look for retrace, sell, but it's tricky. And the further down we go, the harder it is, because of course we're coming to a point where they could go back up quite a bit before they drop it again. So
yeah, because it's been going down for
quite a while,
an hour.
Yeah. So you see how they take out the previous low, they drop it down, take that previous low out, retrace back into a gap. See? Do it again. They take out the previous low, they retrace down and retrace. Sorry, break down, retrace back into a gap. They again take out the low, drop it down, retrace back into nothing here, really. There's nothing here for them to retrace into, but they did retrace in any case. Again, we're looking for them to take out the low. They do it again. They retrace back into a gap, and they do it again. They break down, retrace back into a gap. And am I sounding like a broken record here? But that's basically what they're doing all the time. So we're talking about our 1, 2, 3s, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and so on. It's just 1, 2, 3s, not the greatest places for 1, 2, 3s, but they are technically 1, 2, 3s. Right? 1, 2, 3, break the low. So at this point, we would expect a retrace back. We do have a gap, so we could expect a retrace back to continue going down. But at some point here, they're going to break the previous high, and that's going to be a change of character, and we'll be looking to go back up, not necessarily to go back up to take out these highs, but just maybe a little bit of a move up to continue going back down. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. So I would mark this gap here. I'm on the 1 minute, so I can mark this gap here, make this big, and we look for them to come back up into this gap. So the question now is, will they just go into the gap like they did previously, like they did here, go into the gap and then reject to take out the low, or will they break above? If they close above the gap, then more than likely they're going to go and take out the high, which would mean a change to go back up. So this would then become an inverted gap. So It's always tricky at this point because we've come down so far. However, I have a 1, 2, 3 here, so I would expect another drop here to take out the low. Because we always have to look at our structure as the key. So right now we've just had that, so we should break the low one more time, I would expect. So we're right middle of the gap. Could sell it, but not so keen about selling it at this point, although it is a definite sell. Look for them to take out that low, and that will give us our structure. And then at that point, again, we'll be looking for the same thing again. Retrace back. But this time we could come back and take out the previous high. So we'll see how that works out. Every time we get our 5-wave move, we can expect that it's possible for them to come back and take out the previous high. If they do not, then we're going to continue going down. So gold's still plodding along down. And it's the same story with gold, same kind of trajectory here from the top. It's all retraces, breaking previous lows, retracing back into gaps, breaking previous lows, retracing back to gaps, retracing back, breaking the low, look for the break of the low, retrace back to gaps, break the low, retrace back to gaps if there are any, or even an order block can be used. Break the low. So they do it over and over and over. It's always the same, movement, but of course they can mix it up a little bit as well and mess you up. So
getting aggressive right now.
So there we go. So they did not break the low. Interesting. Okay, so S&P did S&P did not break the low either. Doesn't look like. Let's see. 43.5. 43. Oh, they did. They did break the low actually by a tick. This is 043.4. This one is 043.5. So they did break it by a tick. That counts. So now if they go back up, take out this high, which it looks like they just did, it is a possibility that we could turn up. This high is 073.6, 074. They did break it. They did break that high just by a tad. So it is a possibility that they might not come back to break this low immediately, that we could see a move back to the upside here. And that's possible. But they didn't break this very significantly, so they could still come and take it out.
Break that low, but I'm not sure which high you said that it broke.
They broke this high right here.
You did?
Yes.
I
Mine.
didn't break it on mine.
I'm on the S&P. Let me go to the NAS, see if they did.
Okay,
On the NAS, they did as well. They did. They did break. But on the NAS, we did not break the low. So S&P broke the low, so we have divergence.
Yes.
It's very interesting. So we have divergence here. You see? So there is divergence with the S&P and the NASDAQ at this crucial point right there. So this is quite an interesting setup now. So now we broke the high. So by breaking the high, that means we might not come back to break the low just yet, and we could continue up. And so that could be our fourth wave just starting, and we could start gyrating before we finally break this low again, this low here. So this is kind of the plot of their ploy that they use. So that's why I was hesitant about jumping in at this point, because I'm not sure how far down they're going to break this low, if they even break the low. And they did break it on, like I say, on the S&P, but not on the NAS. So it's quite interesting. They broke the previous high. So by breaking the previous high, it's saying that we could continue up now and take out this high, and they have. So there we go. Okay. So that's what I would be expecting.
Get into the next 5-minute fair value gap.
Yeah.
Which
so now we have a 1-2, another 1-2. So we're pushing back up. So now the next high would be in jeopardy to be taken. And just like that, it can be a whole turn of events. We'd be moving down nicely. You know, they've moved back to these gaps and everything. Everything has been nice and orderly. But all of a sudden now they change it. Why? Because we've got a 1-2, we drop. They're playing around, going down, playing around, going down. But we come to a point where we have to get to a third wave, and then we have to bounce. So this is what's happening at this point. So is gold doing the same thing? Similar. You see, we've come back and we've taken out the previous high. Did not take out the low here. They took out this low over here. They've retraced back into a gap, but they've taken this high out. So because this high has been taken out, it's possible for them to go and take out this high now and this high and move back up. Just in the short term, that is. You know, it's not a big, huge move to the upside that you're going to want to jump in to go long, but you have to be aware that they can manipulate you now, manipulate this whole area.
Well, until I see some good signs of it, a real turnaround, I'd be just looking for an opportunity to make another sell.
Well, again, we know where we are now, so we have to be careful, because
absolutely
we can get caught in here and just get chopped up. And we're coming up to the macro at 10 minutes to the hour.
The 2-minute and 5-minute are trying to turn up. They haven't. They're just getting started with it.
I hope Omar joins us today. I'd like to see where he got to with gold. He was on the plane to the upside. Remember yesterday? I was cautioning him about this, that they were going to come back to
play hour gold or 4-hour gold or what?
I'm not sure. I think he was up on maybe on the hourly. Peter, how have you done today in Tesla? Tesla looks a bit choppy today.
I wasn't available to trade at the outset this morning, so I missed a nice rundown, but that's life.
Indeed. You can see how from yesterday we thought perhaps that they would come back up to take out this high. They came very close to it, but they did not. So they chopped it all up in here with us yesterday, and then they opened up quite high, but they did not take this high, and then they made a 1, 2, 3 here, dropping it. So we know where we are now. And we're looking for them to continue down to take out all these lows and perhaps even this low.
Getting a bit of a rise right now on the 1 minute.
Yeah, so this is our key here. And we're just going to be gyrating in here for a while before we continue down. So the question is going to be, how much of a gyration are they going to put on in here? So you can see the structure beautifully here. So there's our drop, and back up into a gap, and then take sweep. Not much of a retrace in here. They don't give you much. They're just gone. So we come all the way back down to this level. They haven't taken out these lows as yet. And now we're getting a bit of a bounce, taking out the previous highs. So we could take out that high as well. And maybe even this high, because we have a 1, 2, 3 here. So that could push us up to that high up here. There is a gap there. So we could come all the way back up here and then continue down. So that looks like a logical structure possibility. That's quite a lot of points there, though, from 234 to 238-ish, 239.
Yeah, I wish I'd caught that, but I just wasn't.
You might be able to catch the top here when we get up here to make this move back down. That will give you even more, because you'll come back down to 228 from 238, 239 area. That would be a nice play. So I'll watch for that as well this session here and see if I can jump in and take a ride down with it.
Okay, let me know.
Yeah, I think we've missed the train currently. So we're if I drop to the 1 minute, you'll see what I mean. So this was our best opportunity in here, breaking that high, coming back in again, we get another chance in here, and now the train's left. So it's a little bit more difficult now to get in, unless we get a deeper retrace. But there isn't really anything for them to retrace to. So there is a gap here. So, based on our 1, 2, 3 here, we're certainly going up to the 239 area. So here we get a little bit of a retrace. Is that enough to continue? They might drop deeper. There is an order block, but it's not really a. So let me just see if it's worthwhile to jump in at this point. It's quite interesting. You really, when you're playing this, you really have to look, because there's so many little things that they throw at you, and if you're able to spot them, you can take advantage of what they're doing. So, and so there we go. So they're breaking through that gap, so that can now turn into an inverted gap. But there's nothing else for them to come back down to except for this order block. So it looks like they're coming back to that level. And sometimes these inverted gaps come into play because they cut through candles. They don't matter. So from way over here, they could use that to come back into and then continue. So it's quite interesting how that works. Also, putting the fibs on from this high to this low gives us 50% retrace. So anything 50% retrace is good to go as well. So there's a number of ways to jump in on some of these moves. So there we go. We're touching that 50% area. So that's could be an entry to continue. So that would give us a structure, a pseudo structure right now that we're looking for them to continue up to take out this high. However, because it's a fourth wave, they could chop it up and get you all in a kerfuffle in here before they continue. So we don't know if they're going to do that or they're just going to go straight. That's the hard part. We just don't know what they're going to do in here. So yeah, a lot of times you'll jump in and then you get caught because you're just stuck in here. And then sometimes it's just quick. So here they did that, and then boom, it's done. So we could do the same thing here. They could just drop it and then go. But they can also, you know, chop it up for a while before they drop it. So you just don't know what they're going to do. So I'm kind of thinking that might have been the only touch we're going to get here, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already. So we might be done. If they do happen to give us another chance to and come back in here, I'll take it. I'll take the trade at that point. So let's see if they do come back in again. Because my risk is going to be small if they come back into the gap. Touch this order block. So our current candle just opened, our current 4-hour candle just opened.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're giving us a tail, a wick on it. I think this is going to turn into a big wick. We're going to go down to take out the previous 4-hour candle lows. So they're pushing up to give us a wick. And then we're going to come screaming back down to take out the previous 4-hour lows. That's the ploy here. Will they come back into this gap one more time or not? I've got a fractal right now. I could take the trade here, but I'd like to see them come back down one more time. I don't know if they're going to, though. Let's see how the NAS is looking at this same spot here. Okay, so the NAS has already taken out all these highs like I was calling for. So they did this very quickly. Boom.
Yeah, I got in again.
Done. So yeah, it's a sell now.
Yeah.
To come back to take out these lows. Possibly. I mean, they can gyrate here as well. So we don't really know what they're going to do again. But looks pretty good. So we do have some gaps in here.
Problem was that I got in and I couldn't move my first limit down fast enough, and I got in and half a second later it clicked off my 10 pips. Volatility is still high.
That's just terrible, George.
Yeah.
10 pips in split seconds. Okay, so here we go. We're retracing back in. So this could be a nice sell on NAS in here. So can we come up to the first one? The second gap, I should say. Maybe not. You might not get.
It was just up to there.
We got to the midpoint of that one. I'm going to go back to Tesla here real quick to see what it's doing. So, oh, they did come back in, so I missed my opportunity on Tesla. Can't leave, eh? You can't jump around. You have to stay at one thing. It's tough to jump around.
Well, especially when it's volatile like this.
Yeah, so there was my opportunity for a buy of Tesla right there. So they might not come back again. So that's the way it is. All right, so let's see if NAS goes back up. Yeah, this looks like that might be it, and they're heading up to take out the highs now.
Boy, it's bouncing like crazy.
So there's a sell opportunity on the NAS. I'm a bit slow right now. I'm trying to do too many things here. I've got two screens going and jumping around a little bit. Looking for one more push above that current high.
I took what I could get.
That's a song. Okay, so might not go up. I was looking for them. I'm being really stingy here. I'm looking for them to go back up one more time. But they might not do that. So I might miss both here by just trying to be too precise here. They did come right into that sweet spot, but the reason I'm looking for them to go up one more time is
Oh,
because
went into the fair value gap. Actually, it penetrated through, but it always closed inside that fair value gap up on the 5-minute chart. And that's where I got in. It was about 70.
looking for them to come back up one more time to take that high. And the reason for that is our structure. We're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we should take that high one more time here. And if not, then they're not giving us that fifth. And that sometimes occurs. So it doesn't look like they're going to. So Tesla is leaving, trying to leave. That's what I mean, that they can chop this up here in here. So you can get chopped up here before they go. Because we do have a 1, 2 here. So when we get here, this is what can happen to you. So as much as we want to see it go, they can hold you in here and chop you up.
You see a 1, 2, 3 bottom there on the 1 minute, Lennox?
At this point here?
Yeah.
Yes, but again, what I'm just saying is that because we have a 1, 2 here, and when we get to this level, since this is our 3, they can chop you up in here. So you can get 1, 2, 3s all over the place, but it doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
They can chop you up like this before they go, right?
Okay.
So you have to be aware that we're in a third wave. So once you're in the third wave, this whole area becomes very volatile and almost unpredictable. So this is what can happen in here. You can get chopped right up. We're expecting them to go out and up, but that doesn't mean they're going to do it right away. That's the hazard of the fourth wave. So there's NAS is actually doing what I was expecting it to do, to try to take out the high one more time. That's what I was kind of gunning for there. It did not do it yet. Now they did it. So yeah, again, I'm playing around too much. I missed the nicer entry up here. Okay, so I went in, but yeah, I should have entered up here rather than down here, but it was a bit too slow. Okay, so we're dropping quickly. So that's what I was kind of expecting, that for them to take that high one more time. They did, but I missed my entry there. I had to settle for an entry here, so I could have been better off. So I'm looking for them to take this low now, and then this low, and bring us down. Will I be correct? Possibility. So where's my stop going to be? Just above this high here. I'm using the middle candle of the gap. So looking for a big drop here. How's Tesla doing? Tesla is still fooling around in there. Yeah. So we're at almost at the algo at 11. So I could be in trouble as well here, because it's, as much as we've hit this high and taken everybody out up here and so forth, and looking for them to come back down, they can fool around in here and to take everybody out of positions before they drop it. So similar to what Tesla is doing, we could get the same kind of nonsense going on in here. There are no guarantees at all here. So this gap didn't hold, so I'm going to get rid of it. It's the top gap that's in play. So this would be our break of structure, change of character. Thought we were good to go there moments ago. Thought we were going to go right through, take out that low. Maybe this time. We need to take this low out. Okay, so I'll take a partial. Let's go.
Could that be a 1, 2, 3 top on the 1 minute Tesla?
Let's see. Well, we're expecting Tesla to go a little higher, but yeah, this could be a 1, 2, 3 top already. But again, if this is our 1, 2, 3 bottom, then we should just be gyrating in here. That's like I was saying, and I would then expect them to go back up one more time. But you see, they're gyrating around, so it's not that great in there on Tesla. It's a tough one. So let's see the 5 minute. So yeah, we're looking to go up. Yeah, we're gonna go up, but we have to get through this mess first. So we do have a 1, 2, 3 bottom. So they're chopping it around. We're gonna go through to take out this high. That's what I would expect. Take out this high. But it's pretty choppy. So it's interesting that they're kind of going So we're coming back on the NAS. So I could be in the same boat here with the NAS, that instead of them dropping, like I'm expecting, that they might want to be heading back up to take out this high, just like Tesla is trying to do. So I might have to rethink because Tesla and the NAS are in cohorts. They're in, yeah, so I could be going the wrong way here. So I'm going to bring my stop rate down to mitigate any losses here, because I think that's what's happening. Now that I see Tesla, let's drop this down a lot more. So I'm bringing my stop quite tight. Yeah, all of a sudden I realized, wait a minute, if Tesla is going to go up, then the NAS was going to go up as well, right? Because we've got a 1, 2 here, another 1, 2, 3. So they're chopping it up here, inducing people to sell, really, but they're likely to continue back up. So let's see if we can come back down, take out this low one more time before they turn it to the upside. Otherwise, I'm going to be taken out here. So that was an interesting one. Yeah, once I look at Tesla, you see how they're chopping it up. Like I said, that they more than likely will chop it up in here. So we've got an A and a B and a C. So we could go up another time and then come back down one more time and then go. That's a likely scenario here. So I'm going to take that as a cue to exit this trade, because I don't think we're going to do what I thought we were going to do in the first place. So I'm going to take a quick profit off here. At this point, I'm just going to get out because it's too choppy. It's too choppy in here. It's just ridiculous. They're not going to go anyway in any direction down or up real quick here. They're just going to chop up and down for a while, more than likely. I see what they're doing now, and it's just quite interesting here. So made a little bit of profit, so that's okay. So Tesla, again, 1, 2, 3, A, B. So we come into C. We're going to take this one out. Then we'll go back up again. Probably take this guy out. And then we'll come back again. And then we'll go. I think that's what they're going to do here. If I'm wrong, we're going to continue going straight down, and I was totally wrong. Or they'll continue going straight up, and I was totally wrong right away. But I think that they're going to do this and this, and then so we'll see. So it looks like I didn't really have to sell right away. I could have hung in there a little bit longer on the NAS. Yeah. So they went down to take out this low. Okay. So I didn't think they would do that because they were chopping so much. All right. Let's see if we go back up now. So it's a bit too choppy, is what I'm trying to say here. So it's a little tough to trade in here. We should go back up. Or not, or otherwise I had it right and I shouldn't have gotten out. So it's either I was right and we're going to continue down at this point, which I didn't think was likely because of Tesla looking to go back up again. So was I right or was I wrong? Let's see. They're going down quite a bit, so they're making me look like I'm correct, but I think they're still playing games here, and we could go back up. Well, it's quite a drop here all of a sudden, eh? So let me take a look at it from a different point of view, from the 5-minute. Okay, so what they're doing here, they're not giving us that extra leg up, which is what we'd be expecting here. We'd expect another move up to take out this high. So they're coming down quite a ways. They need to turn it around to go back up one more time to get the liquidity up here first before they're going to drop it again. So will they do that or not? Will they go back up and take out this liquidity or not? That's the question now. So we've come down quite a bit. It's a bit disconcerting now that they might not turn it around, but I'm kind of still thinking they will, but we'll see. How's our gold doing? Yeah, gold is, yeah, see how gold, they came right back up, chopping it up and down. That's what we would expect at this point, right? And that's what they did. So that was, I should not have exited my trade because Tesla kind of warned me a little bit that maybe I should exit because they looked like they were going to go back up again. But now we see that they're dropping it quite a bit. So I could have stayed in and made quite a substantial profit there, but that's okay. So let's see if we can go back up again. Got an inverted gap over here. So we've come into the inverted gap, get a bounce. So I could even buy this, but I could even buy this back up. You see, when you ask me, Peter, is this a 1, 2, 3 bottom? Yes, but it's not going anywhere. So because we're in a fourth wave, it's very difficult to utilize 1, 2, 3 bottoms and tops because they can chop you up like that. They don't have to go anywhere with it. So this 1, 2, 3 top played out. So will we go back up again to take out these highs is the question at this point, or are we just going to go up to the gap and continue down? Or they can just continue down, right? So which one will they do? So looking for a bounce here. So this gap would be in play right around 50%. So they might just do this, come back in here and drop it again without going back up to take out these highs. Because remember, we're in a downward mode here, right? We're in a downward spiral. So this is just a little blip in it. So we got the 1, 2, we drop. So they can chop it in here. That's what I'm trying to say. We can get chopped up in here and then they can drop it. And the same thing they're doing even on the lower level is the same. They chop it up and cause you nothing but grief. in these areas. So they're breaking that low. Okay, so they're not going back up yet. So that was an unfortunate exit on my part, and just thinking that, okay, maybe they were going to go back up one more time. Nope. So
I got my 2 lots this time.
good. Somebody stayed in. All right.
I got it.
Still looking for them to come back up. So let's see if they do.
Not sure. It's over 100 handles I was able to get.
Yeah, so they weren't going to go up one more time. And so it looked like they were going to do that. So essentially, all we had was an AVC, and then we had 1, 2, and
Yeah, that was a hard call to get in at the top. I just decided I'm going to take it and hold my breath, but it worked, you know.
Yeah, I'm expecting them to do that, but Tesla was looking like maybe they wanted to go up one more time to take that high and give us our structure, but they said no, they don't want to do that at all. So
I guess the problem I was seeing was that the volatility was so much that, you know, I would put on a target, put on a ready to pounce on a limit of 52, and it would pop up to 62, you know. So I'd go up to 62, I'd sit on it, ready to pop it, and it would fall down to 55 or something. And then it was up to 65, and I finally got it at close to 70. But boy, you know, it's, of course, I'm using limit orders, you know, rather than market orders.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, this was a very tricky play here on their part. They really it was deceiving because it looked like, yeah, we could certainly go back up and take out these highs one more time.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they played us there really well. All right, so the algo has kicked in. Essentially, we're in an algo, and we're, you know, so I'm looking for a little bounce here to jump back in to continue going down now, because it doesn't look like they're going back up. So this, in essence, is a huge 1, 2, and we're on our way down. So
I see that on the 5-minute, I see there's a fair value gap that I missed before, so I'm going to mark that. They go in there, I'll grab some more.
See what it looks like on the 5. Yeah, there's a big fair value gap there. Make this bigger. Yeah, there's a big fair value gap there. So yeah, we could push back up into that right in there. So
yeah, if we get into there, you know, I consider another
that
drop.
would be the same thing Tesla is doing, pushing back up. So yeah, very tricky here. They played it nicely.
Well, it's the volatility that is tough to work with. Bobbing up and down like a yo-yo. It's almost at the gap now.
Mm-hmm. So this would be my opportunity to get back into my sell.
Yeah, it just touched.
They've touched into that area now, so I'll take the sell there.
Last time to get a fractal.
Yeah, I jumped in without even a fractal, but yeah, I could wait for a fractal. So we're getting a larger 1, 2 here now. So they're going up a little higher than I'm expecting, of course.
Yeah, well.
We got a 1, 2, another big 1, 2 here. So I'm looking for them to come down, take out the lows now, take out these lows over this side. So let's see if that will hold. So my stop.
At the top of it, and of course it blew it.
It should turn us back down momentarily. momentarily here. Let's see if we get a fractal now.
If I can get in now.
No, they did not give us a fractal yet. So it's possible they can take the high one more time. If they do that, I'll add to my position.
Not quite. Yeah.
Okay, they gave us the fractal now, so all right. We are good to drop here.
Okay, I got in.
Do they want to take that high one more time? Yes, they wanted to take that high one more time. So I'll add to my position here. Add another one. Okay, so let's see now if we can drop down.
Well, they still don't have a fractal. I mean, the fractal you got in, well, the first leg of the fractal you got in is
Still going up. Wow. Okay, still going up a little higher.
You know, a lot higher now.
All right, so my stop would be above this candle here. So I'm right at that stop area. Okay, so that should suffice for them to go up, and we should start coming back down there. So this is my last gasp. Last line of defense is this gap.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's see if we continue down here.
Now we need an about face,
Yeah.
which is early from my signals, but it's starting. 2-minute chart looks like it wants to do it.
It should break this to the downside here.
It's trying to turn around, but it hasn't quite done it yet. Let's hope at this close we get our fractal.
Yeah, we've got a fractal, so just need to drop here with some vigor.
You think we're on our way down?
It looks so. I'm going to take a partial again. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so got a nice partial on that. So let's see if we can continue going. Got a gap here. So my stop would be just above right there. So limit my risk. put my TP down at the lows.
I got my first lot anyway. I'm trying to get us set up to get a little lower, but it's struggling at this point.
Yeah, not dropping as quickly as I would expect here. Maybe it'll go now.
Beginning to look better.
That's much better. Okay, so I'm going to take another partial. Okay, I'm going to let the rest go now. Bring my stop down. I'll put my stop into positive. No loss on this trade.
Where's your
Yeah.
target?
That was very sneaky of them there. So again, because we're in a fourth wave,
Yeah.
they can mess you up. So they went up. It looked like we were going to get a fourth wave to go up, and they said, no, we're not going to do that. They chop it up. It looks like they're going to do it, and then they turn it and drop it. So they're very sneaky right here.
I can't see where you're pointing to your target.
Just saying that in the fourth wave, I'm on the 5 minute on Tesla. So
you're on Tesla.
So
right?
they dropped it.
Okay,
It looked like we were going to get a fifth wave here to go up.
Yeah.
All right, but
Well, yeah, the same thing was going on with the NAS, really.
Yes. So they made it look like they were going to do that. Very sneaky of them. And then turned it and went the opposite way. That's why I exited my position the first time, because I thought, oh, okay, I see Tesla might be doing that. That means the NAS was going to do that. But they dropped it back. So they're on their way down to take out the lows. You know, that's basically it.
That low you're looking for.
Yeah. So we're heading right down now to targets here. So I can bring my stop down a little bit more just to lock in a bit more profit, just in case. Where else are they going? So, oh yeah, there are equal lows over here. So they're heading down to those lows, never mind where I'm putting my target. So I could even go lower than that. Let me just see if I can. Yeah, so we're heading for these lows here as well. I can take the low hanging fruit, but we can see we're heading further down. So I can move my target down to here.
What time frame is that?
That's the 30-minute. So they're heading down to these lows here. So I'll just keep moving my stop down. So not too far away from where I am now, but I get more profit out of it. Where am I at here? 30, 39.68. I want to go 4,000. Yeah, so there we go. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to continue going down to those levels. I might be looking a bit greedy here maybe, but we'll see if they can continue going. I'm going to bring my stop down a little bit more to get 1,000 out of this at least. No, look at that. They're coming back. Oh, that didn't work. So, boom, they've taken.
I didn't even make my target.
Wow, look at that, eh? So all of a sudden, is there some news of some kind?
I don't know.
Well, it must be.
I'm moving my stop out of the
Wonder what that news would be. So good thing you have a stop in.
2 o'clock news.
Wow, that's ridiculous. We weren't expecting any news today, were we?
No, the FOMC is tomorrow. What the heck is going on at 2 o'clock?
Oh, somebody's speaking at 2, but that's, so he must have said something. Interesting. That's quite the turn there. So that's an unexpected. Nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
That's why you have stops.
Did it take you out?
Yes. I was just about to bring my stop down to get more profit, and then they took me out. So good thing I'd moved it down a little bit to get a bigger profit on it. But yeah, that's a nasty. They didn't take the lows out as yet.
I managed to move my stop out of the way so it didn't catch me.
Interesting. Did Tesla do the same thing? Yes. Wow. But Tesla took out the lows first before it did this move back up.
That's really interesting.
Very odd.
When you see things like that, you wish you could go to some news source to find out what somebody has figured out is happening. But
Yeah, it's a very unusual spike there. So you're going to get that. Those are the things that in our in our programs, in our EAs, we couldn't,
Yeah,
nothing we could do about those kind of things that happen. You just have to ensure that you have stops in place. So this is a very unusual move. Would not have expected that to occur for them to go back up and take out these highs. That's just crazy, and take out all these highs. That's what I thought they were going to do here first, and then they drop it. But you see, they came down first, and then they went back up. So that's very unusual movement here. So, and again, that's out of our control. So for those out there on YouTube who are wondering what are these guys doing and so forth, we are the 1, 2, 3 traders. We're looking for a 1, 2, 3 setup. And again, first of all, if you like what you're seeing, we're trading live, play by play, real time, bar by bar. Please give us a like and do subscribe to our channel. We appreciate that. What we're looking for essentially is a 1, 2, 3 bottom, which looks like that, or a 1, 2, 3 top, which looks the opposite. So we're looking for this move to the upside, looking for this move to the downside. So that's essentially what we're looking for in the markets. So a 1, 2, 3 top here, for instance, is like this right here. There's a 1, 2, 3 top, and we're looking for that move. There's a 1, 2, 3 top there. That's what I was in at that point, looking for them to come back into about a 50 to 62% retrace of the move. So 50 to 62% is what we're looking for primarily, and then looking for the drop. So that worked out nicely there, except for all of a sudden this bar came, which is unexpected. But that's our...
Okay, the only thing I found was that at that point in time, the news came out that Iran will be allowed to maintain civilian nuclear program for electricity generation, but they must dismantle the nuclear program based, for bomb generation. However the heck that might work out, I don't know. But that's the only news that broke around that time. And the next news that came out, which is 5 minutes after that, is crude oil wrap WTI settles at $1.12 lower, or at $59.58 per barrel. That might be a close number.
So what are they doing overall is the question here, right?
Yeah.
At this point,
Keep forgetting to touch my limit order. It looks like they sat on the darn thing but wouldn't go through it by 25 cents.
This is what I believe they're doing. They're gunning for these lows down here. However, we have to make a 1, 2 here, and then this drop. So I'll be looking for them to take this low right here and give us a push back up. That'll give us our 1, 2, and then we'll be coming down. So that's kind of what I'm seeing overall on the bigger picture from the 1 hour time frame point of view. Now, marquee, let me take a look at gold, see what gold has done. So on the 1 hour time frame, gold is in a similar type of affair. We do have a 1, 2 there. They're pushing back up like I proposed that they would, and then we get another drop to come back down. So I'm going to go down a little tighter, see if we can. You can see it clearer. So on the 30, you can see, so we had our 1, 2, another one, they drop it. Now they're in the fourth wave. So again, we can chop in here before they drop it, or they can just drop it. But we're heading down to take these lows out. So similar to what the NAS is doing. So on the 15, that's what it looks like. There's our 1, 2. We drop. They're chopping it, and we would look for them to come down one more time. So if you can hang in there without getting stopped out, then it's a good thing, because it will continue going down, hopefully, if we're correct. So there's a gap that they've come back into on the 15, drop down to the 5. We're touching into that gap. And
Don't come down and hit me. Come on, you guys. I moved my limit up so you can take a bite of it.
See how Bitcoin reacted at the same time. Yeah, the Bitcoin had the same reaction. So something happened there at that moment in time. See, on Bitcoin, that's an expected move. Bitcoin, we had the 1, 2, 3, 4. We would expect them to go up and take out that high on Bitcoin. Quite interesting. So it's a totally different. This move is correct in respect to our structure on Bitcoin. So now we come back down, go back in, and we would expect them to come down and take out these lows now to the downside.
Come on.
So let's see how Bitcoin looks higher.
Finally
Yes.
took me out.
Interesting here on Bitcoin. So we're looking for a sell.
Good day. One more left, but I can take it for whatever it wants at this point.
So it looks like they're heading down further.
Good, good.
NAS, yeah.
Book 690 handles so far.
Question is, where are they heading to? So this low looks like it's in jeopardy right there. So that will be the next target. It would be this low here. It's around 17,404.
17,400.
And 4. That low is 17,404.5. That's their next likely
See if I
target.
can get 17,400 out of it.
We're right at 1.618 currently. So this move from the top took us right down to 1.618. Amazing. So pretty good. and now they're breaking the low and going down further. But unfortunately, they did it in a weird way and messed up my nice trade that I had on with that anomalous wick.
Yeah, what happens, Lennox, is that this volatility is the thing that kills you. Because, as I was saying, on the active trader, I'm watching it jump around. It's nothing for it to move 10 points one direction, then down in another. I mean, the spreads are small, like no more than a half 50 cents, but trying to get it is tough. It just moves so darn rapidly.
Well, this was a very unusual move.
Wrong side, it'll reject the whole order.
This was a very unusual
So
move.
it's supposed to change it to a stop order instead, forget it. They won't occur. It's just moving so darn rapidly.
For all the sellers here on this move, it's just nasty because they took everybody out that was selling. Everyone that had stops up here were taken out. So it was a very wicked move here with the wick to take everyone out.
That's what I was saying. I have a 15 handle stop and a 10 handle to get into my first limit. And if I hit the button at the wrong time when it's still going up, it'll hit my stop, even though it goes back down and hits my 10 handle, But if it hits the stop first, it's sayonara. So you got to try to time it when it goes up as far as it goes. It's going to start turning down, but that's not the easiest thing to do. I guess if I flip to a market order, that would work. But even then, as soon as you hit your market order, it puts it in, but your stops are then set. If you're 10 pips on your stop and it still goes up another 10 pips, and you just lost both your trades.
Yeah, it's quite volatile right now, so not much to really do at this point. We're still in the algo.
Well, the VIX is 50 right now, Lennox.
Yeah, lots of fear.
The ATR on a 5-minute is 97 handles.
Wow. Yeah, so it's tough going. You have to be quite nimble. Excuse me. Well, it was
That's trying to turn back up again, but
yeah, they're playing around. Still heading down still, but overall. So I've been playing since last night. Let me just go into my account here. I'm at 120,000 now. So I'm slowly going up. I haven't had a loss since last night. It's just been nice profits since last night. I was playing Bitcoin, some NAS, Bitcoin, NAS, and NAS this morning, but I haven't had a loss in a while. So it's been really good. Let's see if I can continue without any losses, but it's tough sometimes.
Yeah, well, that can be hard when you're in volatile markets like this. I've had 2 losses. One of them was for the full 30 handles. The other one was just for 15 handles. And then it went down and it hit my stop, so I got a -5 handle stop.
So we're into macro time again at the last hour here, coming up to the last hour. We're into a macro.
Yeah.
Still looking for them to drop this down some more. So again, I'm looking for them to take out this low here at 17.4.
Problem is it's not quite decided what it wants to do yet.
Take this off.
Should turn around, but has not decided.
Yeah, that's where they're going. They're going to take that low. They're just moving up. So possible sell opportunity if you're brave enough to.
I mean, it got
test it out.
It got into the fair value gap again. I think that's a 5-minute fair value gap. The heck am I on?
Is there a 5-minute gap? No. There's an inverted gap, but there's a 5-minute inverted gap. Not really an inverted gap. I'll leave that off. So on the 1 minute, we were back into a gap here. You might push it a little higher. You take that high. Yeah, this is again very tough call because they just like yesterday with that anomalous candle that happened. We had the same type of thing again today with this candle that kind of messes up our structure.
Candle.
Yeah, that messes up our structure quite a bit. So we were going nicely. We had the nice 1-2. We had another nice 1-2. We had a nice drop, another one, and beautiful 1-2 there. We're going so nicely. I would expect a little bit of a bounce maybe, but a continuation, not this kind of thing. So this kind of messes everything up, and you have to wonder, okay, what was the reason for that, except for just pure meanness, wickedness.
Well,
the wick.
I mean, that's what happens.
That's why they call it the wick. Wicked.
Somebody puts the news on to whatever they put it on, and people jump right on top of it. They say this has got to be true, and they all get caught.
So it's a potential sell right here, back down, but
it's trying to turn down, but it's a struggle right now.
How much did we retrace from this point? 50% is way up here, so we haven't even retraced 50%. We've only retraced about 34% or so. So we'd like to see them come a little higher. That would be ideal. So there's another gap here, a small one. So if they can come above that with a wick, that would present a better sell than from here. So always look at it in that way. And at this point, we do have like a 1-2 here. So this is like a fourth wave. So we would expect another push up. So can we come up into the next higher gap? That would be the ideal here, into this little gap.
The way this is going, just have to take a shot sometimes and hope for the best.
So if we came up here, then that would present a better sell. Let's see how gold is doing at this point. So gold is set up quite nicely now. That was a nice 1, 2, 3 there. And yet another one. Now we've breached that low. They come back in. There's a gap. Just missed it by a tad. And off we go. So gold is looking to take out these lows. Let's see how it looks on the 5. So you can see what they've done in here with gold. We get our 1, 2 up here. Another one, and then they drop it, and now they chop. So it's still possible that they might take this guy and still come back up and then drop. That's still a possibility. We can still be inside the channel here, and they can do that, or they can just go straight down. But we would kind of expect another move up to take out this high. That's a possibility. So be careful on gold if you want to sell. All right, so back to NAS here. I might have been on US Tech. Yeah. Okay, so are we going to go back one more time, or are they done? So this could have been it. They might have said, okay, we're not going to go any higher than this.
It's like they have finally made a decision on the NAS anyway. That's you're on Bitcoin, I assume.
I'm on NAS.
You're on NAS now? Okay. I'm saying they've made a decision. They're going to go down.
Looks so. I was looking for one more push up above, but they're saying no. Okay, let's take a look at, yeah, so that one, to get in now, we'd have to get a retrace back in and then a continuation, something like that. So if they create a gap in here somewhere, there isn't any. Yeah, there is now. There we go. So we could get a retrace back into that gap, and that might be the last chance you might get. But how far are we away from target is the question. So you might not. Yeah, we're just right there to that target. So that's not really worthwhile to go short at that point. From up here would have been better. You see. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin. Also, I'm on the 1 minute. Let me go to the 5. So you can see what Bitcoin is similar type of affair. We drop down to this level and they chop it all up. And now we're getting a 1, 2 to come down to take out these lows. So we're going to take everybody out that went long and dropping down to the 1 minute. So the opportunity was in here. Get that 1, 2. So they sweep and they sweep again. So they haven't swept this low with this low. So they swept it over here. Interesting. Then they come in, that candle took out this, everybody in here. It was pretty nasty. And then we get another 1, 2, and we're on our way down. So another retrace to continue down. So opportunities there in Bitcoin. That might have been it. They might just take off now to the downside. There isn't anything for them to come back up to. Nope. So we should just fall here. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, boy, you have to really stick to one thing if you want to trade and be effective, because what I'm doing, jumping around to NAS and S&P and gold and Bitcoin and Tesla and so forth, you get an array of different setups and so forth, and everyone is unique to itself. Even though some of them look similar, they're all unique. So you need to, if you're trading, it's best to concentrate on one instrument and try to pinpoint exactly what it's doing and get your entries, because as much as I like how Bitcoin's set up here and so forth, the better trade is up here to catch that move. You don't want to be jumping in down here. That's why I'm not taking a trade. NASDAQ, the same kind of thing.
One.
I'm sorry, George?
It's hard enough for me to concentrate on one thing.
Yes.
To do more than one.
Yes.
Is
So
really
with
a super challenge.
With
Especially
NASDAQ,
if you get into markets like this. I mean, I don't know how you were able to do it, Lennox. I mean, you're really good at that.
well, like what I showed you there, when I showed you my trades from yesterday and last night and so forth, I'm quiet.
Yeah, but
quietly sitting at home.
Into a quieter time.
Yes.
You
So
have an opportunity, but you get into something like we have right now. I mean, that's such a difficult situation.
yeah, and you have to be quite picky, as you see, because I'm jumping around, so I have to say, okay, I'm looking for certain setup in order to jump in. So I can't just jump in willy-nilly, because that's not good. At this point, because we've broken that low, you don't want to be jumping in down here.
Right.
So there's no trade. The best trade would have been up here. And I was looking for one more push up, but they didn't give it to me. So that would have been better if they did it that way. That would give me a lot more profit. So if I don't have a setup, then it's best not to take the trade, because you're just going to lose more often than not. So we're waiting. Again, because we're 1, 2, 3 traders, we're waiting for this setup. We're looking for this 1, 2, 3. We're looking for that, fair value gap for a retrace back up into it, and that's what we're looking for. So ideally, it's best to just sit on your hands if that doesn't set up. If you don't see that setup to catch that move, then there's no trade. So right now there is no trade at the current leg, right? And that's as simple as it is. That's what I'm doing when I'm sitting quietly in the evenings, London, just before London Open and so forth. I'm just looking for these setups on the 1 minute here. I'm just looking to take, and I'm just in and out quickly, so I can jump in on Bitcoin and so forth, and I'll get, I don't even know how many points I make. I'm just looking for example, 1,000 or more. If I can get over 1,000 or more on a trade, here's 3,400. That's bonus 1,600. So I'm just looking that kind of way, and it's no greed here. It's just they add up. If you can get 3,000s in a row, that's really nice. And we're talking just a matter of within an hour. So you can make your your weekly or monthly salary in an hour that you're going out to work 8 hours a day for, and you talk about a whole month, you've got 40 hours in a week at 5 days a week, and that's 200 hours in a month. That's
Come on, give it to me.
It's quite amazing that you can do that in minutes, never mind hours. So
come on, hit it. Yay!
George,
Wow.
you're winning. So we've hit that target now. That was
I hit my target.
That was the line we were looking for, the line in the sand there. If I go back to the futures, there we've hit that target. So that was the expected target. Again, unfortunately, this anomalous bar came in and took me out of my position, but, although with a profit, but it would have been a nice trade all the way down to that target otherwise. So could have got back in here, but again, I was looking for one more push up, and then I'm looking for the 1, 2, 3 to continue down, but they didn't do that. So I could still enter even regardless of that, but because I can go to the seconds chart and I can see setups, but because I'm jumping around a bit too much here, it's very difficult to kind of show you guys what I'm seeing. But if I look at the seconds chart, all these setups are right there to be had. It's quite interesting. So it looks like they're reaching for a new target low. So I'm going to go up again to the 30 minutes. See, so our next, okay, and there's a big line there. I'm going to go up to the daily. Just want to kind of get a bearing of where we are. Okay, so we're still, yeah, this is quite interesting. So I'm going to go to the 4 hour because it'll be much clearer on the 4 hour. So this is what's going on in the market right now. This 1, 2, 3 is controlling the current move. We've dropped and we've come back up into this high. And so the next logical trajectory and target that we're looking for is for them to take out these lows here. So we're looking for much lower targets on NASDAQ, unfortunately. So they're going for these lows. So at this point now, what can we expect? Since we've taken out some of the lows, the buyers in here, we could certainly expect a bounce perhaps, and then a continuation down. So that's what we'll kind of looking for as we go down the time frame. So I'm going to go down to the hourly. So you can see again they came down to this low, and then we made our structure move in here. They did not take that high out, interestingly. That we thought maybe they might do that last night, but they did not. And then now we're coming down. So our structure now is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So I would be expecting them to retrace and then to drop. So it's going to be a fake move to the upside. That's what's going to be happening. They're going to make a fake move to go back to induce the longs, induce all the guys to go long, and more than likely we'll come back up into this gap, and then we'll continue dropping. So that's kind of how I see what they're doing. And am I going to be right? I don't know. That's what I expect. So we've taken out the last low here. I'm on the futures contracts right now, the continuous contract for NASDAQ. So we do have another set of lows here, and then another set of lows over here. So I'm going to mark those because they can come into play at this point. So I'm going to mark the next set of lows. Will they actually go for these before they turn it around? That's a possibility. So I'm going to mark this one. So I'm on the 30-minute time frame, on the hourly time frame, sorry. I'm going to mark this one as well. All right, so now I've got those two, so two possible target lows. But I've got another line here. I'm not sure what that line is. I need to go higher to see what that line is. Still don't know what it is. Okay, so it's something on the daily or weekly. That's there. Okay, so it is, okay, it is a big, huge, it looks like it's from the monthly, actually. When you go up to the monthly, this is quite interesting. So I marked these, but I didn't, mark what they were. So, so on the monthly, okay, so the monthly, we're into a fair value gap at that point. That's quite interesting.
Well, I think it really went down far after I finally got my limit. Could have been in for another couple of grand.
Go back to the weekly here. So it is a weekly gap that we are into at this point. We went and touched the weekly gap at the low. But that's what I'm seeing at that point. Quite interesting. And most of it has been mitigated. So I could technically draw it down to that level here. So that leaves us in limbo land again. All right, so now I can go back down. So daily, 4 hour, 1 hour. All right, so looking for them to come down to take out these lows here. 30-minute, right. So I'm looking for a balance. So we're at 10 minutes after the hour, the last hour. So this move down is almost complete. So on the 15-minute, you can see what this is our structure. We're looking for that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this 5-wave move down. So it looks like we're coming down to this level, and then I would be looking for a retrace of this move, and then a continuation down to take out the low again. So that's kind of what I'd be expecting them to do. Can we get a ride in this move back to the upside? So it looks like our macro today is going to go back to the upside. That the macro at 10 minutes to the last hour is more than likely going to take us back to the upside. So quite interesting here. Still trying to figure that line out here. Let me see. Okay, that's what that is. All right. So we've broken through that. So I'm going to remove that. We've gone through all those now. So that's what that was. So there's nothing left for us here. We've gone through everything, gone through all these gaps. Yes, so we're in free territory down to these lows, to this current weekly gap. And if I use the entire gap, then we're into the midpoint of it. But I'm going to use the low because it's already taken most of that gap out. And that will give us a lot more room for them to come down in the final drop. All right, so straight down we're coming, big time here. So not a bad play would have been to get in at this area. However, like I say, I was looking for a little more push, and then that would have given me a better entry. So even at this level, you can still get in if you feel that there's room for it to go, and there was, but not really advisable to do that because sometimes you get in at this level on a breakout, and they go back up and take you out. So you have to always be careful about doing that. But nice move here, certainly, to the downside. So we're looking for a turnaround. What a great move, eh? That's just Astounding. I see gold. Gold must be dropping as well. Yes, it is. So gold is finally starting to push back to the downside. It's still possible that they could take out the high. Like I was saying, that they could do that. It's still possible that they might do that. So they could take out this low, and then still push back and then drop it. But we'll see if they do that or not. Bitcoin. Again, Bitcoin is rocking down as expected. So lots of opportunities here, really. If I were a little bit more concentrated, I might be able to jump in on something. So even with Bitcoin, we get this big 1, 2, 3, and then we drop after breaching that low. Not much of a retrace here, and then they drop again, and again not much of a retrace here, and then they drop it again. So they're not giving much retraces here, so it's very weak. Everything is very weak. And I'm sure Peter must be losing his mind in Tesla right now. Peter, are you with us? Tesla is dropping the same as we expected to come down and take out these lows down here. So I'm going to mark that low here. Bring this down. Guess Peter's not with us.
I'm here.
That sounded like Armin.
Yep, that's Armin.
There you go. Glad
So
you
we're
can
looking
join
at
us, sir.
216, 214.
There is Tesla heading
Yeah.
down to the lows of 214, as I pointed out earlier. And we can see that was taking shape once we got this 1, 2 here. We're dropping. I was expecting a bit more volatility in here, and then maybe a drop like that, but they didn't do that. They just went straight, and that's okay. They can do that. They can do whatever they want in that fourth wave. So that's what they did. So we're heading to that low. So all the buyers now have been taken out from these levels in Tesla. So they're all gone. They're all gone and crying. So yeah, this is the last line of defense now, and that's in jeopardy now.
Yeah, Tesla was up 6.5%, I think, today. Now it's down 4.5%. So it's a 10%, 11% swing.
So there's our 1, 2, 3. There's our drop. There's our fourth wave. Make another 1, 2. And then off we go again. So there was an opportunity to sell in here, and that spike up. So let's look at it on the 1 minute. So there's that spike. It's a tough one, of course, because this was kind of a news. Something happened here to take everybody out at that level. So it's a tough one. That one. It's crazy kid stuff there. So how could you have gotten into this? Let's just see if there was a possible way of getting in. Maybe at the end here. We're looking for them to breach that low. They didn't really do it until over here. So it's, again, very tough to get in. Here wasn't, after the drop here, they breached that low, went back up. And again, a tough one to get in because there isn't anything there. When I say there isn't anything there, like you want to see so for us 1, 2, 3ers, it's sufficient to get a 50 to 62% retrace. For those who are looking for gaps and so forth, there wouldn't be one in here for them to look for. So that's why our 1, 2, 3 is very powerful in the sense that you're only looking for a certain retrace amount. There doesn't have to be a gap. There doesn't have to be any order blocks or anything. That's totally unnecessary. But you can use those certainly as other solid confirmations when you do have them. So in this case, there wasn't anything in here. I can see an inverted gap at this level, and that would be a considered you could draw that right across. And so this inverted gap, you can see it did hold. Price did not go and violate it at all in there. So that would have been a useful gauge to come back in and test it and then take a trade. But not many people can see this, so it's very difficult to trade that because most people don't see this. So as much as you can tell somebody to look for inverted gaps and so forth, a lot of people just don't do it. So they're not going to see it. But it's very powerful. It's so powerful. But the more powerful thing, like I say, is for in our 1, 2, 3. So our 1, 2, 3 essentially, if we were using this as our 1, 2, 3 at this point, this move, all we'd be looking for is if I put my retracement tool on this, I'd be looking for a retrace. Oops, get it here. Let's try it again. I would be looking for a retrace of this move to that level, and I'd be looking for a retrace to approximately 50 to 62%. So here's the 50% mark. Here's the 62% mark. So I'm looking for them to retrace back into this area. In this case, they do not. They only retrace back up about less than 38%. So you have to make a decision at that point. Do you think they're going to continue going up into that, or do you take the trade at that area, wait for a fractal or something, and then take the trade? So it's becomes a decision time when you get into this area, if you really feel we're going to fall. So it's not always going to retrace into 50 to 62%. It's not always going to do that, but more often than not, the probability is high that it's going to do that. So we go by probabilities when we're trading. So because the probability is high that we're going to get that retrace, we take that. So again, whether or not there are any gaps, inverted gaps, order blocks, breaker blocks, mitigation blocks, all that kind of stuff, that doesn't have any meaning to us in that sense. This makes it much simpler, so that's why we call it a simple 1, 2, 3, because it's a simple concept. But as you can see, it's not easy to trade. All right, so enough said. I think I've said enough about that. I think everybody gets the idea. So that's Tesla. So how far are we from the bottom? Still got a ways to go. So it is possible for them to leave this low alone for now and retrace this entire move first before they continue. You see? So you have to be aware of that. Doesn't mean that they're going to go straight down and take that low out right away. We are looking at our structure and we're saying, oh, okay, maybe they reach the bottom and then they can retrace and then drop it later. So that's kind of what I'm looking for in the macro. I want to see them go back up in the macro to take out all the sellers. Okay. So NASDAQ again, NASDAQ, same thing. It's the same pattern. If I just see the exact same thing.
Finally did what it was supposed to do.
1, 2, 3, 4, down to this low, looking for them to come back up now and take everybody out that sold.
I'm done for the day.
You've had it, eh?
I got my 800 handles.
800 handles, George?
Yeah.
Are you heading to the bank?
Yep.
You need a new wheel for your wheelbarrow? Or a new handle or two?
a big day.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So Armin, you weren't here earlier. I was telling George and Peter that we found a house.
Armin was on with me earlier. I hope to help you, Armin.
Armin's not talking to me now. He has left the building, it looks like. Stacy is not with us today. Marquis hasn't come on. Armin, you there? I can see some kind of movement, but nothing going on. All right, so I'm looking for a turnaround move back to the upside. So I'm going to drop right down to the 1 minute. We're very close to this. These lows over here. They've taken them out. This is on the NAS. Let me go to the
I'd say thank you
futures.
for the card. I'm pretty sure
So
it's God bless
we
you.
did take that low. So we did sweep that low over there. And so that could be a sign that we have turned the corner here to go back up. All right, so on that note, I'm going to be looking for an entry to go long here. Premature, maybe? Possible, right? We've been going down quite a bit. So I'm looking to see if I can see my structure from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could be done at the bottom here.
NAS is just trying to turn up now on
Yeah, we swept the low.
4 hour.
So we were getting that nice move up. I'd be looking for a retrace and then a continuation. So let's see if that, and there's a gap there. There's also an inverted gap there. So this is a good sign that we could turn. If we can get a retrace back into this gap, that would be great. Will we or will we not? Are you there, Armin?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I was just saying, I was telling Peter and George earlier, and Marky, that we did find a house.
Well, congratulations.
Well, not yet.
Not yet.
We have to.
Well, you got to buy the house.
No, it's all done. It's just a matter of conditions and all that kind of nonsense, right? You know the drill.
Yeah, I know the drill.
Yeah, so we have to get it inspected because it seems like it has some kind of asbestos stuff or something in it. We need to get rid of that.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the asbestos. Nobody wants that stuff anymore.
So I hear.
They used to put that stuff in everything, brake pads.
I worked with, my dad was a contractor, and when we lived in Toronto there, and I worked with him in my teenage years, and he would send me up into the attics in the old houses in Toronto, and I would take out fiberglass insulation and put in fiberglass insulation with bare hands, no goggles, no, and I'd be itchier than this stuff sticking into my face.
The things that our society got away with for decades, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised I'm still alive. Never mind, I was just, I would swim in that stuff, literally.
Oh, yeah.
And because it's so soft and everything, so you don't think anything about it.
Yeah,
well, you don't realize it's deadly. Wow. So yeah, that's how I. In my teenage years, that's all I did with my dad was all that kind of stuff. He was a plasterer by trade, so he was mixing, plaster, doing all these nice designs on roofs and all this kind of stuff, on ceilings,
Oh, yeah.
Back in the, the people love their ceiling designs and things like that. So he was a master plasterer. So,
Wow.
Yeah. That stuff, it was lime that he was mixing all, and he got it into his eye one time. It dropped into his eye, and he almost lost his eye because of that.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yes, he was very fortunate. He was able to get it all out. Yeah, interesting though. So yeah, this is one of the stumbling blocks here for this final sale, to see if we can eliminate all that stuff. This is a house from the 40s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In Oak Bay.
Nice.
Yeah. We shall see.
I had a neighbor once who was in the demo business, and he says, Armin, if you ever buy a house from the 40s, you know, these square houses, basically plaster outside.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
Ralph designed. Yeah.
He says, yeah, he took his, you know, his big, huge backhoe D9 or whatever, you know, and he's got it up to the corner of the house, and he said he hit it with the bucket. And the only thing that happened is the whole house just moved over off the foundation. It didn't crack it, break it, or nothing.
Yeah, that's scary.
Well, you know, it's a good build when, you know, it's like you can't break it, right?
Can't break it, yeah. Yeah. One of the interesting things in the house actually is it has at the corner of the house, it has a window like this, but it also goes on the other side of the house, the window. So it's like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, very unusual. I've never seen that before, where it's built right into the corner of the house.
Well, so you can see around corners.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. It's very unusual. That's the first time I've ever seen that design. So quite unusual. Yeah, how a window at the corner, and then you have a window over here, type of thing, which is the norm, you know. But yeah, to have one over here is very, very odd. I would think like that.
So, any stained glass in your house?
Yeah, there's some stained glass. Yeah, you know, the 40s, they did all that kind of funky stuff.
Yeah, well, sometimes, you know, people take them with them when they move, and other times they get broken and not replaced. So
yeah,
I'm going long on Tesla. What do you think?
Okay, well, NAS is coming back down to see if they can come back down to this gap here. Let's see, Tesla should be doing about the same. Getting there. So Tesla, again, I would draw the gap here because that's kind of, it's there staring you in the face. So take advantage of it. So we're looking for them to come back down into this area. So again, we don't really have to do it that way. We can just look at the retrace of 50% area. And there's 50% retrace of that move. So ideally, anything below 50%, and so that would take us into the gap. That would make a nice buy, certainly. If this is the bottom, right? There's no guarantee this is the bottom. So we do have a 1, 2, 3 here.
What? Give me my money back.
we could drop through one more time. They might be doing this to fake us out. They could sneak us down one more time, then give us the proper 1, 2, 3. So you have to be careful, because so far I haven't seen so far from this 1, 2. So this 1, 2, 3 is controlling the move. So since this is controlling the move, the drop tells us that this is more likely a 3. So we would go up one more time and take that low. So I just noticed that just now. I wasn't really paying attention.
That would be 30 minutes to the bell.
But on the NAS, you see we had a little blip in here. So it looked like maybe we were done, but they could still take that low out the same way. You see?
Yeah.
So there's no guarantee that we're correct, that that's the bottom at this point. They did sweep it right there. Let's see if S&P swept. So this is where the good test. S&P swept as well. So this could be just a fourth, and then we're going to come down one more time, take out this low. Okay, so if you keep that in mind. So notice S&P, their gap is very tiny here, just a little sliver, which they already taken out most of it. So it's quite interesting. It's a little sliver of a gap right there. And then there's also an inverted gap over on this side. So it's bigger inverted gap. We're right into it. And so if we can't stay above it, then it's likely that we could go through it and take out this low one more time. So that makes for tough decision making now, because if you do try to jump in at this point, which looks good, let me mark up the NAS. See, I'm jumping around too much. There's 3 different things I'm looking at. So there's the gap on the NAS, much bigger. So we're right into the gap right now. And then we also have an inverted gap, which is basically the same. So if we can't stay above, then we're going to go through and take out the lows. That's basically all there is to it, right? So if you take the chance and jumping in at this point with a stop here, you could get taken out real quick. So our 1, 2, 3, this is the sweet spot area to enter, because if I put my fib on here and looking for where is 50% of this move, then I would be looking to enter at this point because I'm 50%. So the question now is, should I take the risk and jump in, or what, right? Or do I wait for them to see if they take the low? So that's your dilemma at this point. So if I get a fractal here, it tells me that maybe we're done. So I could take the risk. Oops. I could take the risk and buy at this point.
It hasn't officially turned up yet, so that is, you're
well,
on.
I've got a fractal, so I would take the risk at that point. So let me take the risk. I'm just going to show you. I might suffer my first loss here in a while, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So if I take that risk on that fractal, because we're still hanging into that gap, I did click an order to go here. So see, they're very slow here. So I would put my stop just below this candle. So I'm not taking too big of a risk, because see, they're taking that low out already, looks like. So I could be totally wrong. Did my order not get taken? See, now if they go and take this low, I'm going to be in trouble, because there's the order. Finally the order comes in too late for me now, because I didn't have my stop in to stop me, you see? So yeah, that's the delay is nasty. So you see, they are going to go take that low. So that's the risk of jumping in at that point. So now I've missed my opportunity to put my stop in, because they delayed my order. So what I can do is wait for them to, since I'm believing that they're going to take the low and turn around anyways, I can take the risk and say, okay, I'll wait for them to take that low and then jump in and buy some more to come back up. But that's a very risky thing I'm doing right now. I'm doing that too, right? Because that doesn't mean that they're going to turn around. I'm expecting them to, but doesn't mean that they will. So they're taking the low. All right, so I'm getting deep into drawdown here. So don't do this at home, kids. Okay? This is not for the faint of heart here. Always put a stop on. It's always best to take a small loss than to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. All right, so I'm looking for them to turn this around. We're at 1236, 336. So I need a turnaround. So your answer for Tesla was no, that wasn't a buy, right? And you see what I was saying is, because we have a 1, 2, 3 here, and there's even a bigger 1, 2, 3, of course, then this move tells us that we're at 3. We need to go up. We need to come back and take this low out first. And then we'll be looking for our 1, 2, 3 to go back up. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So I'm taking a big hit just for you there, Armin.
I don't want my homework.
Okay, good job, Bobby.
So I need for them to turn this around now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's no point in me putting a stop down here now at this. Yeah, I mean, I could close my trade and so forth. Better for me now to add to my position to come back
It
up.
looks like the 1, 2, 3 on the 1 hour is in control right now.
And it is. It's always has been. You always have to look at the higher level. This is the one that's in control completely. And then so we came through here, and now we've dropped down to this level. So we should be very close to turning around at this point. Let me go up a little higher on the that was the 15. Sorry. Let me go to the hourly and see what you're referring to. Yeah. So you can't really see it too clearly on the hourly, but so I'm kind of looking to see where would they be coming down to for the final. There's a order block here. There's a little gap here on the hourly, but that gap's been totally mitigated. So we should be very much at the end of the rope here at this point. So we're looking for a bounce. What are we going to be bouncing from? There's another gap there, but they've mitigated that one as well. So it's quite interesting here. There isn't anything big, huge order block here. Yeah, this is tough. So there isn't anything over to the left that's helping us. So there's a big gap here on the 15. Okay, so there we go. So that one's not been mitigated. So this is the likely stopping area. So we're right in the middle of that gap as we speak. So we should be getting a turnaround here imminently. So I'm in huge drawdown just for testing that, but I've been in huge drawdowns before, so I kind of can get out of them as well. So let's see. So I'm looking for a turnaround here. We're right in the middle of the gap, right? This dotted line points me into the middle of the gap. So I'm looking for them to turn it around. Will I be correct? And will they turn around? We shall find out here. All right, so if I get a fractal, I'm jumping in with to buy some more contracts here. So that's what I'll do. Looks like we're almost done here. So it's the 15-minute gap that I'm using now to give us that. Okay, so they're not done. They still haven't gone above. I need them to go above the high, sorry. Or let's see if they do. Okay, so
Still working on trying to.
okay, so I'll buy some more now. So that brings my risk down. It actually increases my risk too, because I'm adding more lots. So if the lower I go, the worse it will be for me. So I need them to go back up quickly.
Well, you can hold on overnight on these, right?
I could, yes, but don't really want to do that. So there's a 1, 2, 3 here. So this move might just be enough just to get me back to break even and maybe a little profit. And we could still drop one more time here. So I have to be nimble and get out if I get the opportunity here.
I still don't have an official turnaround, for reversal. I have enough for a retrace right now.
Okay, looking for another push up. So I could buy some more, but I'm not going to buy any more. I'm just going to see if we can use the 120 here to get me out of this mess that I got myself in.
Critical points where you try to get in early and it decides to continue on the consolidating or something.
22nd.
We're very close to getting out there. So see if I can push up into my order a little more and a little bit more, and I'm out. Come on. Very close there.
So we're now trying to get upward momentum going.
Wow, I was within like a couple $100 there a moment ago. So I could have lost my opportunity to get no. I might just be trying to be too perfect there. Could have had a small. I just didn't want to lose. So, but anyways. So they can drop it back down to take out this low again, put me in deeper doo-doos here now. So I came within like a couple $100 and I didn't take it. So do I get another reprieve, one more, and
You
then
might
drop?
get another chance at it.
Maybe, or they'll take the low out on me. We got 8 minutes left. So I would rather get out before the macro kicks in, but they might not give me another chance here.
Yeah, it's lost a heck of a lot of moment.
There is a gap right here, so we're looking to see if they would come back into this gap. Before the macro kicks in. So if this is the bottom, which it could be, but I'm kind of thinking it's not because we have a 1-2 here. So I think they're going to go take the low one more time. So I'd like to see them push up first into this gap and then drop it, and then we go up like that. So I don't really have to exit, but I would exit if I get the opportunity to get out. But maybe being a bit too precise and not wanting to lose might have cost me a little bit here. So we'll see. Looking unlikely that they're going to go back at this point. So you might take the low first.
You have to wait till the next cycle. Had
I purchased another contract on the way up, I would have been out because I would have made it. But all right, so so I missed the opportunity there. Okay, so I have to wait for them to take the low. Is there anything below us? Yeah, there's the low of that. So I don't want to see them go too low, just a sweep here, and then we're turning around again. Okay, so we've swept the low. So let's see if the S&P swept the low as well. It has. Okay, so they're all doing the same thing. Tesla probably did the same thing. Tesla hasn't swept the low yet. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like earnings for Tesla is coming out in 2 weeks from today.
Okay. So I'm going to look to buy some more at this point. So we've got 5 minutes before macro kicks in. So let me jump in and buy some more here when I get a fractal.
Oh, Miz, we're still in a down mode. That's Tesla. You're not in Tesla right now.
This could be the bottom here at this point now. We have a sweep, so we're looking for a sweep of the high, and we'd be looking for a 1, 2, 3 here to go up. So I'm just looking for a fractal here now. Got about, here we go. So they might come back down one more time to take that low, or okay, I'm going to buy some more just at that point. See if I can make it back up.
238.
Right now it's just trying to gain some momentum, upward push.
They might take that low one more time.
Hasn't quite caught it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oops.
Yeah. That's expected that they would take that low one more time because I do have a 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got one more sweep. Okay. So we should now very close to the bottom and we should turn around.
See, the
imminently here.
Right now we're trying to do a counter trend trade. So
yes, it's just a retrace of this move. That's basically what we're looking for at this point. So I'm going to buy some more again to add to my kitty. And buy some more. So I'm stocking up on the contracts here. So I should be out pretty quickly when they move up.
Well, at least I have divergence. with my CCI at this point.
So I'll be dead in the water if they continue going down any further. So we need for them to turn around now and go up.
It's my 1 minute is struggling. Let's see what it looks like on the tick chart.
Okay, big blue candles now.
The tick chart hasn't been able to take out the prior high yet. We do have a brand new low on our tick chart.
Bitcoin is very similar here. If I look at Bitcoin on the 15 minute, this is the 1 minute on Bitcoin, it's got a nice 1, 2, 3 right now, but on the 15, you can see it's the same type of pattern as on the NAS. We got the 1, 2, 3 up here. We dropped, they take out the low one more time. And so we'd be looking for them to turn it around and go back up again. So at the level on the 1 minute, we're setting up a beautiful 1, 2, 3 right there to take out, to get out of there. So looking for NAS to come up here. And we're 2 minutes away from macro. Okay, we need a fractal here. It's got to stop going down.
Looks like we're in a wave 4 on the tick chart. We're constantly making new lows. Now I see if it, right now it's trying to break up above to turn this thing around, but it failed again. Too low.
Okay, we're in the last minute before the macro kicks in. All right, so this is going to be interesting here now. Do I get a big push straight up, or do they crash it down further? I'm looking for them to push up without going any further down. And we'll so they're going through the bottom of the gap. That should be enough now. We should, okay, we're into the macro now. So we should get a big push to the upside here.
Okay, well, it hasn't been able to break the prior high yet.
Let's go, let's buy another one. Let's go to 300. Okay, need a big push here now.
It just broke the prior high, prior 3 highs.
Yeah, that's my fractal. So we're getting a nice push.
Now you should be in good shape to.
Need them to take this high out over here.
It
I've got some
like
nice profit.
Was taking over. I'm going to switch back to my 1 minute from the tick chart. It's easier looking at the tick chart, really.
Big push.
Just trying to break out on the 1 minute chart.
Take some profit off. So nice to come back into profit. Like them to take this high out over here.
We have another 9 minutes in the macro.
Yeah, getting some nice profits here now. So I'll take another partial. Come bring it back down to earth here.
The next good point as a target is 316, 17,316. There's a couple of smaller ones.
Big push. That's nice. Okay, so now I'm good. So they can just continue here now. So looking good. Made some nice profits out of that big huge draw. I was down about 17 grand at one point there, but I made about 6 or so on that comeback.
Okay, we've got.
I made 8,000 on that retreat.
Immediate high. Getting ready to turn my moving averages around. The yen has gone positive. it's still even a harder play because of the fact that we're in a counter trend mode. With the macro helping us, it should be okay.
Yeah, we got a nice gap there, so we should continue pushing. They could do a retrace here though, into the back to the gap. So I put my stop into positive just because I don't want to lose. But I'm up nice profits here. You know,
So it should be just going up directly without stopping at go. Next level you're looking for is 223.
So reason why I held on again is because of the structure. So if I look at it again from the 15-minute time frame, it's the structure that has made me do what I'm doing. So I've got my structure. That's what we're looking for. So at that certain point, it has to stop and it has to turn back. So now they're going to retrace this entire move at least 50%, approximately. And then we would continue back down to take out these lows down here. So that's the gist of that. So when I drop down to a 5-minute time frame, I'm looking just at the last leg here. So at this last leg, it's the same kind of thing. I'm looking for, like, you know, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. It's got to end at a certain point and then turn and go back up. So they're going to retrace this move at least 50%. Once they do that, then they drop it back and continue up the bigger one. So that's what I'm looking at. So that's why I was confident even going down into a big drawdown to be able to make this move. But the macro at 10 minutes to time is what's helping me big time here right now.
Just broke that next intermediate level at 223.
So I've got beautiful profits here. So I'm going to take some off again just because I can.
Our next intermediate target is 313. Would you have 5 minutes to gain?
So they might take me out now, but that's okay. They're coming back. They always do that. They come back real quick. They take these guys out down here, like me. So I might get taken out. Might have moved it up a bit too tight, perhaps.
There's some more to go. I mean,
so I would love to see them not take me out here and we'll just continue up, but they're coming back. This guy might be in jeopardy here. That would be me. Sometimes they leave you alone. So let's see if they continue. So the last leg of this move.
One standard deviation of my regression channel. We can stay above that, it'll be in good shape.
I think they're coming to. I think they're going to take this low.
Scotia iTrade. For service in English, press 1. Pour le service en français.
Please mute yourself.
If you'd like to use TeleTrader, our automated telephone service,
Please
or
mute
want to
yourself
reset
there.
your login password using our automated IVR,
Peter,
press
I'm
1.
going to mute you.
For agent.
Peter's not listening to us. All right, so at this point, we've got the 1, 2, 3 here. They looking for them to take that low because we have a 1, 2, 3. They did it. And again, we're looking for them to take this low because our structure is not complete. So now I can look for them to turn it around with a fractal. That's what I did and kept buying even in these areas to add to my position to reduce my risk that I had, my drawdown that I was in. So at this point, we could get a retrace back, even back down to this gap, and then a continuation. So I really don't need to move my stop into positive and take that risk, but it's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter at this point. I've made a substantial amount of profits on that.
Well, it'll be a nice winner if you get the 313. We're starting to pump up again.
Yeah, so on this move, I was able to take off 4, 5, and 4 is 9, and through 12 grand. So pretty good profits there on that move up. And I'm still in. So looking good here. So we could continue pushing. If we can take this high out, we can continue pushing up. But I'm still looking for a retrace. They can still retrace here, so I might still be in jeopardy with my stop that tight. And the reason I'm looking for a retrace is because
a retrace again.
Yeah, the reason I'm looking for a retrace is because this move here, we can come back down and below 50% here, and that will give us a 1, 2, 3. That would take us higher up.
Problem is that any gaps are fairly low. It goes back to the order block in the next 2 candles for a gap.
Well, give me 1 second, gentlemen, please. I'll be right back.
It's real interesting. I use a 120-day regression channel, and I plot the plus and minus 1 standard deviation on it. Price has just gotten into that plus 1 standard deviation channel and has been struggling around it. It looks like it's heading out now and moving up. I think Lennox drew a line, he took it off there, but that peak, 2 peaks from where price is, the coming down from the left-hand side, the first large peak, that, and right now the macro 10-2 macro has stopped, so we're into the 10 after macro, and this is after bell time. Now, right now it's still showing positive momentum, but we want to see which way the macro is going to take it. I was hoping we would get up to that peak I just mentioned on there, but I didn't realize the bell had just rung, which means Tesla is closed, but the NASDAQ is still open for another hour. It's still in a very positive mode, but it just made a new fractal. And this is a Williams fractal at this point. Now we needed to go higher, break the fractal to the upside again, because I'm at least not looking for a turnaround.
Well, I'm long, George. I was thinking about staying long overnight. What do you think?
Did you do all right on the Tesla, Armin?
Yeah, I did all right. I didn't do as well as I could, of course. You know, hindsight is 20/20. But
okay, I'm back.
Good deal.
I was just asking George. I'm long on Tesla. You think I should stay long overnight?
Sometimes can be hard. I showed you the difference between the extended hours and the regular graph, which goes from open to close, open to close.
Yep.
And it depends upon what they do during the extended hours. That, you know, if a good news story comes out, it can send it high. If it not, it can send it low.
Right.
Okay, well, let me,
On the NASDAQ, we've got two fractals going up, and we're heading closer to my target of 17,313. We're in, the bell came in while you were away, I think, Lennox, and
oh, if we have the bell already, okay. So let me just explain what's happening and what I think is happening and what they're going to do, so you can make a decision based on that analysis and see if it's, well, it's too late for you now. You're already holding it, right?
No, but I can trade after hours.
Oh, okay. So our structure is complete at this point. So all they're doing now is they're going to retrace. So it all depends. Tomorrow morning, based on the NAS tonight, NAS will be going up into this, right? So we could be back down by the morning, you see? So, and that means Tesla could possibly open lower. Or it could open higher, depending on how the NAS does. I mean, the NAS right now is climbing. So let me go to the NAS to show you, because they're basically doing the same thing. So the NAS is moving up. So we're looking to retrace this entire move. So I'm going to put the fib on so you can get an idea what I'm talking about here. Okay, so we're looking at, got it the opposite. Let me do it the opposite way. So from this low here, right, we're looking at the fib up to the high, right?
Right.
Did I do that right? No, I did it the wrong way. I had it the right way the first time. Let me do that again. I'm sorry. I'm losing my mind here completely. Okay, so down to this low. So there's our fib. So we're looking for them to retrace at approximately 50%. So up to this area. So
yeah,
they can do this overnight.
Target I'm talking about, that should be at right around 17,313.
Yeah, so they're looking to do this overnight, you know, and once we get up here, then they're going to be coming back down. So by the morning, you know, if you're not out up here, then, you know, you could be down here, you see?
Yeah.
So
okay.
You have to look at it in that way.
Yep. Well, right now, in the aftermarket, it is Tesla is going up. It's creeping up.
Yes, because the NAS is still going up. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I usually have about an extra hour to trade here. So.
Yeah. So, but that's my answer to your question. So
thank you.
It's always a tough one because we don't know what's going to happen after hours.
I don't want to. Yeah, I won't put you on the spot or on the hook or whatever. So yeah, I got in at 222.61 here, and so
that's the way it is.
It's already up about getting close to $1. It's fluctuating. The ask is.
Well, I see post is at we're at 223 in the post after market here.
Yeah, 223.70 now. So it's going my way. It's going up.
Yeah, because at this point here we have a 1, 2, 3. See, so we're already up in our third wave. So we're on our way to making what I was just showing you on let me go to 15 so we can see the whole thing. So post is already we've already got our 1, 2, and now we're pushing up 3, 4, 5 to come up, and then we'd make a 1, 2. I did that a bit too big, so let's make it a little smaller. 1, 2, 3, something like that, right? And then we'd do that, and then we'd go up again. That's what I would expect.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
If I go back to the 1 minute chart, we've already done the 1, 2 really quickly, and now we're in the third leg. So pushing up rather quickly, taking out these highs. You know, so we could do that and then continue up one more time, right?
Right.
So that's what's happening, and we can see it live and in color on the NAS. You see the NAS is doing what I'm saying, but the NAS is doing it a little differently. It's doing it quite
just did it.
large.
Just hit your target, Leonard.
They're really going here, right? So this was, I could have stayed in with a huge amount of lots, contracts, and made huge profits here, but I was willing to take off, 10, 12 grand and then let the rest go, still making nice money. So it's not about greed. You can certainly be greedy and make lots and lots, but it's about being right. For me, anyways, being right and making profits, whether or not it's a huge amount of profits or it's a nice amount of profits, is irrelevant to me in that sense, right? Because profits, you can build profits.
Right.
So
yeah.
it doesn't. You don't have to be greedy, is what I'm trying to say, right?
Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. 224, 225. It's going through 224.50, 225. It just bounced off of 225. So
just keep moving my stop up a little bit. So I've got gaps up here. So we're just looking to bounce off these gaps and continue pushing up. They could spike this down right now and take everybody out. Of course, all these buyers here. They have that.
Yeah, you've
option.
gone almost a full cycle on that up move, so could be touch and go.
287.
I took off the contracts over here because I didn't know for sure whether or not they were going to do this. See, this is a possibility they could come back into this gap. So hence the reason I was hesitant about holding on to a whole bunch, because they can do this and, all of a sudden, you're back negative and all that kind of stuff, and then they go. But you see, they didn't.
That was at the point of the bell that you just marked. There's two big candles there. I think the top was when the bell was rung.
So now now that we've swept this high, we can pull back to continue. So I'm moving my stop up just to protect the profits, and I can move it up even higher under here. So if they do take me out, they take me out at this point. I still make nice profits regardless, and so it doesn't really matter if they take me out. But you can move your stop up tighter to just in case they do that, which is a possibility at this point. So because they swept that high. So this is like a break. It's not really a break of structure as yet because we haven't closed above, but they can still come down. If they continue, that's great because we do have some nice momentum, but yeah, regardless, this is a win no matter what. So it's beautiful. It's always nice to be in a position where you're winning and never not losing. So I've held on pretty good here from overnight to today without losing. And like I said, I was in some serious drawdown here, taking that trade in here, thinking that maybe that could be the 1, 2, 3 bottom and we could go from here. But you see, based on our structure, it said, no, that's not right. It's got to wait. All right, I have to go, gentlemen, today. I have an appointment, so I must leave you guys.
Thank you, Lennox.
I have to go to the bank. My wheelbarrow is definitely heavy today.
Okay, we'll see you a bit later.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody.
Congratulations on your house.
You need any help carrying that,
Catch you
Lennox?
guys Monday, or catch you guys tomorrow.
All
No,
right.
it's a wheelbarrow, George. It's got wheels. It's got a wheel.
Take care, everyone.
All
Have
right.
a good day.
Thanks, Marquis, for dropping in. Appreciate it.
All right,
Peter,
catch you guys tomorrow.
thank you for dropping in. Stacy, well, Stacy's here.
Thanks.
Stacy.
Thanks, Lennox. Thanks,
Yes,
George.
no problem. All right, George, thank you. George is gone. Take care, everybody.